Hey, Julie.
Hey, Julie.
Welcome to Hey, Julie, the Big Brother podcast for casuals by casuals. Danielle, good morning. Happy Saturday. How are you?
Good afternoon, Brett. I'm doing absolutely fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm great.
Wow, we're
Went
both.
for a little mini hike this morning.
Oh,
Slammed a half of a cold brew that I drank the first half of yesterday. I am flying. I am
y-
flying to Greenland right now.
there are some podcasts we've done in the past. I think you're okay with me saying this. Where like
That I
occasionally,
suck.
no, no, where occasionally like I'll join and I'm like maybe really tired and don't know what I'm talking about. In my head, I'm like, Brett's gonna have to carry this one. Possibly you felt that way where like I'm gonna have to carry some. But today we are both logged on. We are both flying high. We are both raring to go. So I hope people are strapped in for this episode.
Let's fucking go.
I oh
RIPTUBINA. Rest in
yeah.
peace, Tubina. I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken. What can I say?
Yeah. It was an absolute nail biter episode. I mean, it was really a great episode of TV. You have to give it up.
I don't want to jinx it, but is BB26 good?
Is it good? I was saying this last week. It's great from a casual point of view. It's great. I actually think maybe we should all. I don't want the feeds to get turned off. I think that will
Yeah.
negatively affect everything. But I'm okay knowing that they're happening and seeing occasional updates, but then watching a highly edited, highly dramatized version of it all.
Girl, I'm so fucking busy. I don't have time to watch the
Oh,
feeds.
girl.
I don't even have time to. I'm not even reading hamsters. Like checking in on the little things here or there.
Joker's update?
I'm casualing the hell out of this season, and
Yeah.
it feels wonderful.
It feels good.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Check in on Jokers, Saturday afternoon, Monday afternoon. That's it.
You
That's
get
it
the
for me.
updates. You see who's won the comps. But then it's also kind of interesting because that doesn't really matter because it all comes down to the Ainsley Arena, as we saw this past week.
Yeah, I had the feeling this week that like Tucker kind of like, I don't want to say threw in the towel, but there was the light had like left him a bit this week.
Yeah.
And whereas he was an unstoppable force in previous weeks when he was on the block and winning a bunch of stuff, he kind of just seemed like resigned and checked out.
Yeah.
During this week, I was even watching the AI arena and I was like, is he even trying right now? He has said that he misunderstood players.
Wow.
Are you ready for the competition? He misunderstood the rules and the setup of the competition, and
Didn't
he was doing the puzzle backwards.
Didn't you find that so interesting considering we got the question last week about whether they were prepped beforehand? Yeah. And Julie even said, that's why I asked you whether you understood or not. Like this was we had such a foreshadowing last Hey Julie episode where someone asked about this. And we couldn't imagine that people would get it so wrong. But Tucker proved us wrong. Yet again, Tucker is a bit of a maverick. He's a bit of a boundary pusher in getting things wrong.
And we're such tastemakers that they actually published a video a few hours before the show of Julie doing the puzzle herself or explaining the puzzle. Wow. Maybe they should have shown that to Tucker.
Yeah, exactly. I loved watching that go down. I loved watching it. I totally agree. So like when Tucker was nominated, we saw him like sulking in his room wearing his costume. Yeah. Tubina comes in. But I saw some chatter on the timeline of like, was this where, or sorry, not Tubina, Rubina comes in and they're just so linked in my mind and is trying to like rev him back up, but he's just oppressed. He just wants to sit there. Some people were saying that Rubina got the ick from this conversation. I totally felt differently because this is seeing someone, they're in love with each other. Can we just say? They're in love. They're going to have a relationship outside of the show. Usually when people come out of the house, or often when people come out of the house and, they were just doing it because they were probably like missing the touch of a human, or they just liked the attention, they'll hedge when Julie asks. They'll say like, we're going to have to see. Tucker was all in. Tucker is in love with her. And for sure, vice versa.
Are we sure for sure vice versa?
You think Rubina's over it? You think she got the ick?
I don't think she's over it. I think she has her walls built up. I had a topic for you. I had a topic for you today. I had a question for you. Danielle, is Tucker a fuckboy?
I think
wow. Not as emphatic. I thought you would say emphatically no, but you had to think about that, which is
well, you have to think about it. That's the thing about fuckboys. I think fuckboys are the best ones are usually hidden in plain sight. It's like they don't flaunt the fuckboyery. It's like it's the worst kind of fuckboy is someone who hides it well, and I don't think I think maybe he is, and he has fuckboy tendencies, but I genuinely think he's in love with her and wants to have.
He exists on the fuckboy spectrum.
Yes, absolutely.
Because one of the things that there were two things that made me a little bit worried about Tubina and that it was a television only thing. One was on Thursday's episode. For some reason, Tucker really wanted Leah to be the replacement nominee. For what strategy reasons? Like, I'm not 100% sure. Like, because he's working with Angela, sure, whatever. I didn't think Angela and Leah being up nominated, I didn't think really changes the dynamics that much, considering I think it was going to be either Tucker or Mackenzie going home anyways. That third nomination spot was kind of just like a formality. So I wasn't totally sure why he was really upset about that. But anyways, he is upset about it. He goes to sulk after the veto meeting, and an exchange happens between Tucker and Rubina, and he's like, I'm not sure anything is real anymore. I can't trust anything. Is anything real? And Rubina says, what about me? I'm real. And he kind of just blows it off a little bit. I don't know. And Rubina has a kind of devastating DR where she's looking into the camera and she's like, I thought this was real. And he's now saying nothing is real, possibly including us. And then one of the few non-casual things I did this week was I was reading a little bit of Hamster Watch on Friday morning coming out of Thursday night. And something Rubina had said to one of the other house guests was they were kind of consoling her and like, oh, it's not the end for you and Tucker or whatever. And she was like, that felt like a breakup to me. That felt like the end to me. It didn't feel like a see you later. It felt like a period at the end of a sentence. Whoa. So I don't know. No. That's me interpreting one moment on a TV show and interpreting someone else's interpretation that they wrote down or whatever. I love pretty anti showman's person here. And I'm fucking crying tears for Tubina on Thursday night or whatever. So I want it to happen. I think they're both lovely. I've been high on Rubina all season. I think Tucker is awesome. We're certainly not.
I think they're a good match. They really do seem like a good. They found a good person for each other.
I'm a little concerned about the Tubina thing. I don't know. By Christmas, are they we've decided to part ways and live our own separate lives sort of thing? Instagram post.
Let me put this to you. You hit me with is Tucker a fuckboy? But let me put this to you, because this is what I was thinking about. Because I'm coming from the point of view that Rubina isn't actually still in love with him. They are gonna make it work. I think Rubina's shot at winning Big Brother is quite low. I think her shot at having love with Tucker outside the house is quite high. But I also think that she needs to reunite with him sooner rather than later. This is maybe
one of the... It's going to be hard because I think jury probably starts next week.
Oh, does it? I thought they had one more week.
I'm not sure. I thought
this was the last week where someone's not going to go to jury.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, well, my thought is based on on if it's true that there's one more non-jury non-juror. I actually would find it totally reasonable if Rubina was like, I just want to go, take one for the team. I just want to go start building my life with Tucker. I would never have said that before.
You're right. I believe this will be the last non-jury. It looks like we're going to get a jury of 7, which would mean the next evictee. Oh, hashtag Dani was right. Wow.
But what I'm saying is, like, previously I would have said anyone in a showmance, anyone in the past, I would have said, get over it. Dump him, dump her, evict them, stab them in the back, get that money. For this particular couple and this season, and maybe just with like my maturity, I don't know. I'm just like, you know what? It's really hard to find someone you love. So maybe Rubina should go, leave. Don't go to jury. Don't go waste your time in jury. Jury actually does some, I guess it's where you're at in your life, but like, yeah, it doesn't sound that fun to me, especially when there's someone you found such a connection with that you're in love with. She was talking about like moving across the country because I think he's in New York and she's in LA. She was going to move to be with him. I think she should try to go home and be with him and start their lives.
I don't mean to demean her because I think she's wonderful. She's a bartender. Like they have bars in New York.
Oh yeah, like she could do that. I think I'm sure she has friends there.
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't say I'm sure. I don't know, but I figure LA, New York, there's usually a crossover.
Again, I don't mean that as like a like malicious or like diminutive sort of thing. Just like, you know,
but I just think
like
to
she
me,
has a career. She has a career where it's like relatively easy to do that.
If she was someone else, if she was Chelsea, I would say definitely forget it. Forget about it. Get your head back in the game. But she doesn't seem that plugged into the game to me. She seems like very, very in love with him.
I wouldn't say she has a low chance to win. I'd say
I think it's low.
I wouldn't say it's high. I wouldn't say it's high. I'd say she's got the spunk, and I think it's like, all right, well, there's a lot of time to like regroup with other people. She's now kind of like the third with Chemo and T-Core, who I think would be bigger targets than her. And it's like, I don't know. It's like, well, what if she wins 2 HOHs and gets like Quinn out and Mackenzie out? Then all of a sudden, like,
yeah, you're right.
Then all of a sudden, you're in pole position to win.
You know what?
I think it's a relatively. I think other than Leah and Angela, and Cam. Sorry, shout out to the dogs of the crib. I think everyone, there's like a pretty wide open shot for a lot of people to win this game, other than those 3. And there's 10 people in the house right now.
Did you just say you don't think that Leah or Angela could win?
I don't think that Leah or Angela could win.
Wow.
Or Cam. I think Angela, Leah, and Cam are. I think they're going to go far. I actually have. We do need to get into an Angela thing.
Like yeah, we do. This might be the perfect segue.
This might be a good segue. Do you want to go first? Should I go?
You
first?
Go ahead because you're on a tear.
I'm on a tear. I'm flying. My patience with Angela is wearing thin. The Angela bit is like, I'm sick of it. And at the same time, Angela, congratulations. Angela is going to get between 2nd and 4th place in Big Brother 26. I'm guaranteeing it. Angela is going to go. The last week or so is guaranteed that Angela is going to go quite far in this game and is not going to win at all. She's actually kind of won a couple. She won 2 HOHs, but she gets nothing done. She has proven herself to be like, she can't make any single move. Every time she speaks, everyone rolls her eyes. Her speeches, like her giving a final 2 speech, please, it's going to be god awful. I want her to shut up and like just stop this roller coaster. Like it's good for TV, but I'm like, it's wearing quite thin on me. And like for people to be sick of Cam or sick of Quinn and not sick of Angela is like, grow up, get a life. Quinn at least is like playing this game and playing like a fun snake game right now. And Angela doesn't know what she's doing from moment to moment other than crying about salami.
My take is, when are we as a culture going to accept and acknowledge that Angela's mist is so potent? We need a new name for it. Angela, like, maybe it's not completely a conscious choice, but what she's doing is a new form of game. It's a new form of mist, I believe. Maybe we should call it repellent. I don't know what it is, but there's something about the way she talks and carries herself. Like you said, everyone rolls her eyes at her, and yet she's still staying. Like you said, she's going to go really far in this game. She is playing a new game that we can't even fathom because we don't remember what it's like to have a woman like this in the house who is like incredibly emotional,
married mother.
married mother, zero. Like she's just the right age. She's a nana. She has no game, but she's a huge fan of the show. She's just playing by her own. She is sort of like, we already talked about this a couple weeks ago. She's like a pirate. She's like, you can't really plan around her because like you said, she's Charles in the chat says she's painful to watch. Pisky says Angela's aura. I agree. It's an aura, but it's an aura that's becoming impenetrable where no one like she's going to go really far. And it's because of who she is and her style of being.
Her best case scenario is Josh Martinez, who won. But like you watch it and you're like, how aware are they of themselves? Does Angela have any self-awareness? Does she have any game, or is she the mist? Is she the repellent? Is she this hurricane that is completely uncontrollable and makes no decisions for herself? She begs to be in alliances. She immediately turns on alliances. Pisky says he's the Mr. Bean of Big Brother. Oh,
yes,
no.
Scaling upwards, I agree. I don't think that's completely unplanned by her. I think she knows that like these people are uncomfortable with big emotions. And that she is very confrontational. That's why she and Tucker like were two twin flames in a way. They were both fine with confrontation. Yeah. They were both fine with big emotions. They were both fine with like being outright about like, I'm playing a game, blah, blah, blah. So only one of them could last. I know it upsets a lot of people that it ended up being Angela, but maybe that's Angela's mist. Maybe that's her mist.
You know who Angela and Tucker reminded me of was from our favorite season of Big Brother Canada was Marty and the that like hot French firefighter guy. I forget his name.
I forget his name too.
You remember him? It was like the old
Jean-Paul. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. Like the two of them were always like at odds, but like the only people protecting each other. And it was and of course Marty, or he goes home on Marty's HOH or something like that. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think we should give her a little bit of a little respect. Put a little respect on Angela's name. But you know what this is proving to me? I don't think we are ready for this conversation as a people. We're not ready for it. We don't want to accept it. We want to think she's just a blubbering fool. And I think this is Charles Spears in the chat says, she reminds me of my own mother. I can't take it. I think that happens a lot.
That's the mist. Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
But that is part of the mist.
I think she's an objectively horrible Big Brother player, and that's going to guarantee her a quite relatively high finish in the game. Everyone thinks she's a clown. She is not really going to go up against any of these people. At a certain point, they're going to have to return to 2 nominees. Well, I guess they do technically have 2 nominees every night, but like, who is Angela going home against? Really?
Okay.
Is Angela going home against Quinn? No. Is she going home against Rubina? No. Is she going home against Chemo? No. Mackenzie, like, who does she sit next to on eviction night? And people are like, oh, we got to get rid of Angela. I just don't see it. Everyone, like maybe Leah, like that's it. And what scenarios like Angela and Leah gonna, I mean, I think there are definitely a few scenarios because Leah probably needs to get into a Leah conversation. A lot of Leah this week. A lot of Leah this week.
No more
Brooklyn and Cedric. No more Brooklyn and Cedric. Got to show someone else. Cam's still giving us nothing. Shout out to the dogs in the crib. And got to show Leah. There was a lot of Leah this week. Should we do Leah?
Are you ready for my Leah take? I think you especially are not going to like this.
I'm not going to like it. No, because I think she's probably the second worst player in this house.
When are we as a people, as a culture, as a fan base, going to respect that Leah actually is playing the exact game she said she was going to? I saw a clip.
Hanging around waiting for fluffy gentlemen.
I saw a clip. I guess I can't really talk about my Leah take though without getting into spoilers.
Okay. I'll just say this. Like, I think there's an interesting thing with Leah going on where it's like they had. Did you watch 2 hours of? Did you watch a 2-hour episode?
I was hoping we'd make it through this podcast without you asking me that question. No, I didn't. I didn't watch it.
They like, in a way, I was like, Jesus Christ. what are we doing? What am I doing? My own life. And then in another way, I'm like, this was actually a really well constructed episode because things that were like funny bits at the beginning actually come back as like considerations for gameplay later. And one of the things that they showed was like Quinn's just shooting a shot. He's out there, you know, he's got the hoop in the garage or like in the driveway. And he's just shooting a shot till late night, trying to get with Leah. And Leah's like you as a friend, bro. And they even put like friend zoned on the screen.
Friends.
Yeah, friend zoned or whatever. But like there's this weird thing where Leah is completely unaffiliated with anyone, yet Quinn is kind of constantly sticking his neck out for her. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. It's Quinn and Leah is like Roman and Jerry in Succession.
Well, but is this not the exact game that she said she was going to play?
What did she say she was going to play?
She said, men are easy to manipulate. I can't believe men have one big brother. She said,
that's true.
I'm going to manipulate these guys. And every season, we hope that this is true when a woman says it. Like maybe a girl will be like, I like to play. You know, like they play it up, right? I believe she is actually doing that.
Is she aware of it? Like, is she aware of it?
Yes. Yes, she is. And honestly, the fact that she has done it this long, like we're halfway through the game now. The fact that she has managed to do it for this long with multiple men. I believe she's doing it with Quinn, with Joseph. I think she tried with Cam.
There are 4 guys in the house, and 3 of them, I think, are like kind of in love with her.
Exactly. The fact that she's managed to do this without any of them getting burned yet, the way perhaps others might have gotten burned when I mentioned that Leah's just playing every man.
Like me?
Yes. She has played actually like from a player standpoint. Yes, Leah's missed 100%. You kind of have to, I think it's very impressive. She has yet to like, she doesn't have to kiss any of them. She doesn't have to actually like commit herself to any of them. Most seasons you'd find like guys would not be happy about this. You know, guys are pretty competitive, and especially when there's a pretty girl who they want to claim as their own. But she has managed to just have them like eating out of the palm of her hand. She's stayed safe. She has yet to be nominated. I think we have to admit she's playing a weird game. And like you said, she's not in any alliances. I think she has a final 2 with Angela. But other than that,
one of the most emblematic and symbolic Leah like quotes came this week. It was like one of the first things that happens on Sunday night's episode. And they're kind of like, oh, Brooklyn had just been evicted or whatever. And Leah does a DR. She's like, oh, I'm really sad because I wanted to work with Brooklyn. When? Yeah. When? It's like we're like literally halfway through the season. We're 6 weeks in. There's only another 6. Like, when are you going to be in an alliance with anybody? Mackenzie, the like hot girls, preppy girls alliance has been sitting there for 6 weeks, and it like disappeared when Matt was evicted in front of Brett and Dani. By the way.
I have a huge thing to talk about on Thursday's show.
Audience. Okay.
There was so many audience shots.
I know. Leah's like, oh, I want to be in this alliance. I want to be in. When are you going to do any of these things? And I think I forget who it was. I think it was Quinn, right? Who said like, hey, I think we can start like work. I think he might have said it to. I forget. I'm wrong because now Quinn has flipped sides. Like Quinn was with Visionaries, and with this Tucker move, it was like a flip. He's like, now he kind of was working with everybody, right? But like he had a working relationship with Chelsea and Cam. He had a working relationship with Chemo and T-Core. And by this Tucker move, he had to choose sides. And he chose the Chelsea side because that would have given him the ability to get Tucker out. So I forget which one he said it to, but he's like, Leah is kind of available on a number. And he's not wrong. She is available. She is a number, except for she's just like not really, she's kind of sitting around and being like, maybe she's just so used to being asked out.
Yeah.
That she needs to be asked into it. Okay, whatever. Just like,
yeah. I mean, take a look at her. Like, she's used to it. But like, when are we going to admit she might not be playing a game we recognize, that we understand, that has worked in the past. But she's playing something. She's playing something and it's working for her.
T-Core is HOH and she's like, who would you want to put out? Like, who are you thinking or whatever? And Leah stares off into the distance like Mark Wahlberg at the end of Boogie Nights with Alfred Molina throwing fireworks around and scream like, what have I done with my life? What is going on? She has no answer. Like,
she doesn't want to answer. And you know what? It worked out for her. You know why? Because T-Core didn't put her on the block.
Can we talk T-Core?
Yeah.
Can we talk T-Core now?
Sure. Can you admit that Leah is playing a game?
You know what? I'll say she's possibly playing a better game than T-Core right now.
Okay. I'll take that.
Here's my take. This is my Stephen A. Smith take. I think T-Core's HOH is perhaps one of the most like worst used HOHs I can think of. Like, what an awful HOH. I can't believe like everyone was so high on her, and every single person in the house is like, I cried tears when T-Core won HOH. I volunteered myself to go
everyone
on the
was
block.
So proud of her.
I volunteered to have a costume and give her $5,000 and all this stuff. And everyone was like, okay, T-Core is a super fan. She's like cool. She's nerdy. She's got like a really interesting story. Like everyone was like, as audience, including me, like, oh, that's T-Core. Awful HOH. And
on one hand.
Because no, on both hands.
No, there's another. No, there's a third hand.
No, there is the other hand. There is the other hand, and she didn't play it. She could have halfway through the week been like, it's time to get Tucker out.
Mm-hmm.
She and Emo were still fighting for Tucker to stay in the game.
They like, half-assed it, yeah.
They didn't, because she could have, even though it might not have been best for her numbers. I think it's a great resume move to be the HOH that got out Tucker, and she can't claim that. Chelsea gets that win. Cam gets that win. Quinn gets that win. So regardless of whether or not she wanted Tucker out at the beginning of the week or even halfway through the week, you have to change your tune after the veto competition and understand what's going on. We'll see on Sunday night what happened in that room. Oh my God. Everyone, it's time to strategize. It's time to strategize. Everyone goes and strategize, and we have to watch fucking Angela and Tucker hug. God damn it. I know why they did it, because they wanted to show, because they're going to show what happened in that room on Sunday night. And T-Core and Chemo knew what happened in that room. They knew that Tucker was going home in that room, and they still, Chemo didn't vote, or T-Core didn't vote. Chemo voted. They all voted to keep Tucker, and so none of them get to put the biggest move of the season on their resume. T-Core's HOH was a failure.
Okay, but what I will say is that, yes, I agree she should have taken more credit for it, but it wasn't actually the biggest failure because she is not really in danger this week. Whatever. Like, it didn't burn the wrong people. Like, she's actually going to escape pretty unscathed.
I don't know. Like, we can get into we can get into spoilers in a little bit, but I wouldn't say she's completely safe this week.
Maybe not completely, but that's because you have to nominate so many people. Philip G in the chat says, how soon till a Tucker's Promise alliance forms? Exactly. They are so, I mean, it just happened. He just got evicted. They are obsessed with him. We're all obsessed with Tucker. One more thing about like the episode, or a couple more things about the episode before we get into spoilers, the Thursday night episode, because I didn't watch the Wednesdays yet.
You're not missing it.
First of all, they spent so much time in the audience. Like, I got very clear shots of the back of all of the audience with Julie standing there for several minutes. I just thought this was a shocking choice. I feel like they remembered how we looked in the audience and they were kicking themselves that they didn't get an audience shot when we were there. And so now they're making up for it with too much audience. Like, honestly, it was too much. I didn't want to be staring at these people. They didn't have the it quality.
They didn't have the Riz. They didn't have the Riz.
Julie looked amazing.
We are objectively the hottest people that I've ever sat in the front.
Ever.
And certainly this season. Absolutely this season.
Even Matt couldn't stop staring at us. Julie looked amazing. She, like the red, I want that dress. Anyone can ID that dress? Let me know, because it was beautiful. And then
Can't you get a Google phone and like circle it or something like that?
Probably, like, but you think I have a Google phone?
Oh yeah, I'm not getting one of those. Give me Apple phone, baby.
Do you think
Apple time?
Do you think that we should just keep the Ainsley Arena forever?
Yeah.
I kind of think so too.
I think it adds a bit of chaos and drama
on Thursday night's live episode, which we need. Yeah.
Which we need because, like, honestly, lots of I think it's actually one of the better mechanics they've come up with.
Yeah.
And whether they call it, I don't know, next season they'll call it like something else. Like, I don't know.
But I think it's like
BB
it really has
return to BB road trip. But like,
yeah, I'm thinking of all the Thursday nights where I've been watching live, and it is so fun to truly not know who's going. It's really fun.
Yeah, because the last 23 years, it's like, okay, well, the veto competition is played on Saturday afternoon, and it's like usually by Saturday evening, like we just like know the result of what's going to happen all week. And even on, if they play the game on Wednesday, or even if you're a casual and you're not following along with spoilers online, it's like you kind of just know what's going to happen every Thursday. I don't know. We'll see. I'd imagine they're going to get rid of it at some point in the next few weeks.
I know, but I'm going to miss
for the first half of the game, I think it's a pretty strong.
Yeah. Every week when I think this is the last week they're going to do it, I'm bummed. But she said they're doing it this coming Thursday as well, and that makes me happy. I want it to keep going. It really is very fun.
Absolutely.
We need to talk about the actual the comps are all kind of like flops. They all have like weird. It's this one. Tucker built it backwards for some reason. It was a very simple puzzle, and then there was a number aspect. You had to make sure the number was right. It was very weird. Like, these are very weird comps for live TV. But I think once they get that ironed out, it's a great Thursday night.
It was better than last week's. The word puzzle thing was by far.
Yeah. We did get a question relevant to Thursday's episode in the chat from Pizkey. Thoughts on Quinn's romp him?
Apparently that is a T-Core original. That was T-Core's close.
Right. I didn't know that.
So
I thought it was.
It is a romp her.
Yeah, I totally remember. When was that? Was that like early COVID when like romp hims were a thing?
I'd literally never heard the term romp him until about 37 seconds ago.
Well,
good for everybody.
It looked great. There's something about Quinn. Let me tell you. There's something about him.
I think Quinn, I don't know if he's going to win the game. Like, there's a lot of, the approval rating on Quinn inside the house and outside the house is not fantastic. But I think, like, man's playing the game. He's flip-flopping. He's cutting. He's stabbing people in the back.
He's doing what he can.
He's being a snake. He's joining an alliance. He's blowing up another alliance. He sounds like Jason Lee in The Incredibles. But I'm really happy with Quinn. Like, I don't know who's gonna, win.
All right, we have to get into spoilers.
Okay. Let's. If you don't want to hear spoilers, get out of here. Okay, they're gone. Your new HOH is Quinn. Cool. We were just talking about him.
Yay. Okay. Pisky in the chat says me and Kat Dunn are the only Quinn heads. Wrong. I'm a Quinn head too. I've been a Quinn head. I've been out in these streets. I defend Quinn. I like Quinn. I think
Quinn's playing great. I think
he's a cutie.
He knew exactly what to do. He's American Kevin Jacobs. Like, he's playing the game well. He's not afraid of putting on performances, backstabbing, pitting people against each other.
He's playing big, which you gotta love. Yeah,
exactly. Like, it's going to be hard for him to get to the end because of how big he's playing. But if he makes it to the end, I think it is going to be hard to deny him a win.
Yeah,
it's going to be very hard against who else? Maybe there's like the T-Core, like everyone loves her vote, but nominations happened yesterday. Quinn nominated Angela, Rubina, and Chemo. That's why I said, I don't think T-Core is safe. I think the veto is used. T-Core is probably the replacement nominee.
Yeah, but I still think even if she's up, I don't know that she would be the target. I think it's just like, we need one more person. We still love and want to work with you, T-Core.
For sure, until Wednesday comes around and it's like, wait, everyone loves T-Core. Everyone's gonna who would a jury vote for? Beautiful, amazing T-Core with an amazing story who needs the money for her crochet business, or silly old me. I suck. Let's get T-Core out. And it's like, and then again, okay, let's say Rubina wins veto and takes herself down and T-Core's out. Okay, what? It's going to be Angela, T-Core, or Chemo. What if Chemo wins the AI arena? Who are people going to vote out? Blubbering Angela, who can't win anything and is a clown, who I am predicting. Yeah, exactly. But who I am predicting is going to go very far in this game because of the perception of her being a weak and chaotic and not strategic player, or T-Core. Like, that's just like super easy. T-Core goes home in 4 days.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, but I don't think it will be because she got Tucker out.
No, because she didn't even claim that move. That's Chelsea's move. That's Quinn's move.
That's but this would have happened no matter what. So it's not because of her bad HOH. That's all I'm saying. Is the HOH, you could spin the HOH of not being the worst of all time, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it was a secondary or tertiary effect. She wanted Tucker to stay. Quinn and Chelsea and Mackenzie and Leah and Cam are like, wait, why do we want Tucker to stay?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's a really good player. So Quinn decides, I need to flip and I need to join a new alliance, an alliance that doesn't have T-Core and Rubina and Chemo in it. And so it's like, she's not being targeted because of it, but new alliance lines, the shape of the house was flipped on Thursday night with the Tucker vote, Quinn being the flip, and he's sticking with the people he flipped with. And now T-Core and Rubina and Chemo are like the wrong side of the numbers. There's like another side of the house that has numbers.
Yeah.
T-Core is not in it.
No, you're right.
She's not being directly targeted, but she like, if T-Core had and Chemo had been clued in and hadn't fought so much for Tucker, joining Quinn in this Tucker, like this, hey, well, let's get Tucker out, then maybe Quinn nominates other people.
Yeah.
If Chemo and T-Core go along with getting Tucker out, then maybe Quinn nominates other people. I don't know.
We talked about her a little bit before. I mean, I guess we're in spoilers. It doesn't matter. But like, I do think we shouldn't gloss over how Chelsea has a very strong case. I think she's playing very well. She is doing everything right. And she did the right thing, which is take credit. She probably was the main driving force. I think Quinn was very happy to go along with it. A bunch of other people, once they saw the light, were probably happy to go along with it. But she was the driving force of getting Tucker out. She could have very easily have been on the block and gone home right after her best friend, Brooklyn. Very easily. But she did what everyone should do, which Angela has done, to be fair. But like laid back, got in the background, played nice, didn't do much until she saw her golden opportunity and like went into overdrive. So you just I thought that was very impressive. I just want to say.
The only knock against Chelsea is that she's playing so well that we're mentioning it on the pod, which is
exactly.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's better to be. Well, speaking of, I don't think we haven't mentioned
him, but better to be a Bretty All-Star, you know.
Well, we haven't mentioned him.
Leah, Bretty All-Star.
Good. I think Joseph is like in a great spot this week. I don't think he's in danger.
Oh yeah, Joseph.
I think he's doing fine. He's doing fine.
We got to see a little bit from Joseph soon. Like, I think, I'm not saying it's impossible that he wins, but there's a lot of like, he's just kind of like floating.
Yeah, I don't know what he can say. What's his case at the moment, right? Like,
exactly, yeah.
So he's gonna have to, have some sort of something to put.
I'd say it's similar to Rubina, where it's like well liked. I don't think like.
Well, same for Chemo, really.
Like, Chemo, I think, can take the Cedric and Brooklyn. I think.
I guess
maybe not. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I guess I think he and T-Core, I guess, were the ones who really can get the credit for that. I just wanted to mention Joseph, because there was like this moment that I saw of Joseph, Quinn, and Leah celebrating in the HOH room. The threesome, the tripod, that reminded me so much of Challengers. And I'm just like, that's what I've been waiting for, is the Tashi Duncan of Big Brother, who is Leah. Because Leah doesn't care about these two boys. She doesn't care. I mean, she's probably friendly with them.
And if like, she's like, Quinn, Joseph, if either of you want to make out with me, you have to make out with each other first.
They would do it 100%. And it's just refreshing to see a player like that in Big Brother. She doesn't really care about either of them, but she will play with them. She will toy with them. She will celebrate with them. She will perhaps let them touch her hand. But other than that, it's just so fun. I love it. I love it. It's really getting me on her side.
Should we do some questions here? Because there's a bunch of Big Brother questions and there's a bunch of not Big Brother questions. And we have at least one non-Big Brother topic to talk about.
Okay, let's get
so I'll do Big Brother questions. Misto Jen in the chat. Do we think Tucker was trying to work with Angela because he legitimately liked working with her? Or was that just because he knew he could win against her if they made final two? Definitely the second one. And I think he definitely had like a strange...
He had a soft spot for her.
Yeah. And also like, he seems like a man, like he really liked focusing on his word. And he's like, if I made a promise to you, and I made a promise to you before I made the same promise to Rubina, then I'm going to honor that over Rubina's, which Angela couldn't believe. And Rubina kind of was shocked at as well. But like, he's like, I made a commitment to Angela. I'm going to work with you. Like, I'm not going to like flip on that. And
he's a hard, he's a hard person. His logic is very hard to nail down. That's why it was also like, he was such an interesting player, because like, and probably a frustrating, maybe to go back to like the fuckboy of it all, like probably a frustrating person to be in a relationship with, because like you're never going to be able to pin down the logic. There's always going to be like some sort of mental gymnastics that makes sense to him and only him, that maybe he'll tell you about, maybe he won't. So I think he liked her and had a soft spot for her. Like someone mentioned in the chat, she reminds people of their mothers. Perhaps there was an unconscious bit of that for him as well. Yeah, I think he did. It was genuine. He liked her.
Phil of 9 asks, how many more weeks does the Chaos Goblin have in the house? Now, my question is, who's the Chaos Goblin?
Yeah, exactly. That was my question.
I think I know who that is.
Angela?
Oh, I was going to say Quinn.
Oh, did he call himself that? Is that why?
I don't know. Are people who are bigger fans of Big Brother creating a nickname that we're not aware of because we're casuals?
I think if it's Angela, I think she's got a while left. And if it's Quinn, I also think he's good for, I guess it depends who wins HOH next week.
I think as far as Quinn goes, like it's the right move to get Tucker out, but I think Tucker being gone makes Quinn the juiciest target in the house, and as far as like men who are playing the game hard.
Yeah. I mean, there's only so many guys left.
Question for Dani: was Julie reminding us to vote Canadian phobic?
That was very surprising. Very surprising.
They did it like 2 weeks ago.
Did they? I didn't remember that.
I think she's done it the last few episodes.
I didn't take offense. I feel so American coded in my life anyway that it didn't bother me.
It is also an American show.
Exactly. For a mostly American audience, I think.
BB World. Maybe
BB
World.
It's not BB Global.
We should have a BB Global. BB Olympics.
American number one.
It's just the Olympics, yeah.
Yeah.
Get some Canadians in there. Get some British people.
Well, we got
some Australian people. Oh, yeah, Tico. Why are you British?
Okay. The other two questions are not Big Brother related.
I think we should save those until after our next segment.
Okay.
In which Danielle has teased on social media and on the Discord. Danielle, you saw Trap.
Oh yes, I thought there was something else you had to tell me.
Oh no, M. Night Shyamalan's Trap. We need to hear what Danielle has to say.
Oh my God. I actually wanted to go. I didn't have time, but I was like, I couldn't remember what your review was. I went and looked at it on Letterboxd and I still didn't like tell me what I needed to know. Cause like I watched this movie and it was sort of like the experience I had watching Malignant, famously loved Malignant.
Oh,
famously, we rented Malignant, watched it. We're so confused and caught off guard and like in a good way that we rewatched it again the next night. That's what we're going to do tonight with Tramp. I'm going to rewatch it tonight because I was like, is this real? Is this like, I kept waiting the last 45 minutes. Sorry, spoilers for Trap potentially. The last 45 minutes of Trap, I just kept saying, there's got to be another trap. Where's the trap? That can't be the trap. There's got to be more trap. Like where's the trap? I absolutely loved it. I just love M. Night Shyamalan. I love him. I mean, he's reaching like J-Cam, David Fincher levels for me. Where I'm just like, I'm an M. Night apologist. I think he's great. He just does whatever he wants. He writes a script, dialogue, forget it.
Sure.
You know what? He's going to write the dialogue. There's literally a line in this movie where a character played by M. Night Shyamalan goes, oh yeah, about a pop star who's named Lady Raven. He goes, I'm her uncle, her mother's brother. Like, why? Why would you write it like that? It's so funny. It's so good. And there's just like so much dialogue, so many unnatural. And I was just like so confused afterwards, but crying laughing really, because I couldn't believe what I had just watched. I couldn't tell how long that movie was. It could have been 90 minutes. It could have been 3 hours long. I was like in a time warp watching this film where so much happened. And yet it was very confusing. Josh Hartnett is amazing. Josh Hart, oh my God. This guy was out of the spotlight for so long and he's back and he has ripened.
He's back.
He was always hot, but like now that he's Daddy Hartnett, OMG. There's of course a scene in the film where he's sitting down at a table getting grilled by his wife and just takes his shirt off.
Oh yeah.
Did people in the theater, you saw it in theater, did people clap?
Yeah.
I wanted to clap and scream.
I saw it at this theater that is like, I don't know if I can go to this theater anymore because every time I go, it's like the worst audience in the world.
Well, I just give it 2 thumbs up, 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up. I think M. Night Shyamalan is an auteur. He's an auteur.
Yeah, I mean, I discussed it last week or 2 weeks ago when I saw it. I give it 1 thumb up and 1 thumb down. The last 45 minutes of the movie were not for me. I did not like, I did not really like that movie in the second half. I was really on board for the first 10 minutes. You're like, what's happening? And then by the 11th minute, you're like, this movie is crazy, and I'm on its wavelength.
It stays crazy. It
only
gets crazier.
It gets crazier, but there's a point. I'll just be honest. So sorry, spoilers for Trap. The movie came out like a month ago. They leave the arena relatively like in the middle of the movie, and like once
there's a whole lot left. Yeah,
I thought there was going to be 1 or 2 things after that point because it's a shorter movie as well. The first scene or so after like they leave the arena, I'm like, okay, this is going to end here. Fine with that. If we have to leave the arena, we have to leave the arena. But then there was like 8 other things after they leave the arena. Like
no, let's just be specific. The first half of the movie is from Josh Hartnett's character's point of view. And he's like, we know he's the killer. We know he's trying to escape. We're kind of on his side because he's like such a good dad. But then like then when they leave the arena, it's all about Lady Raven. Suddenly it's like from her point of view. Like we completely switched. Like there's just scenes of Lady Raven like live streaming to her fans. And, like,
on Instagram. She's like, hey y'all.
And I just love
someone has to send the police to this location.
There's like extremely awkward dialogue throughout the movie, and it's made worse. I can't tell if it's a choice or not. I'm choosing to believe it was a choice that Lady Raven is like not a good actress. But also the dialogue is insane. Daughter. Yeah, but she's so cute and she's got a great voice. I loved the music. I thought it was great.
Was it her voice?
It wasn't? Yes, it was.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's her whole thing. Know. The whole thing is that she's a singer. He wants his
Lady
daughter
Raven
to be a singer. Lady Raven.
M. Night Shyamalan's
as played by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter.
Not the first time that someone in a movie singing songs in a movie and they have someone else do the ADR.
No, but she's a singer in real life. That's the whole thing. M. Night Shyamalan wants people to know that his daughter can sing.
I know he is unapologetically what's the right word? Nepo dad.
Yeah, Nepo dad. But anyway, but so yeah, there's a change. There's many like hilarious things. Like they think they finally got Josh Hartnett. By the way, it's like 3,000 armed SWAT team members against Josh Hartnett, and he consistently tricks them. Yeah, and at one point they're like, they think they got him surrounded in his house in the suburbs, but somehow he escapes, and someone just says, he dug a tunnel from his house to the neighbor's house. It was like so cool. It was so good.
Everything that happened after they like, it's not like the stuff that was happening in the stadium wasn't ridiculous. It was, but I was like on board.
You have to buy
the trappiness of it. But like once they leave and like there's just more and more stuff. It's like, oh, he's got a tunnel. Oh no, there's this, and like, oh, no, there's a wife who he has who's
Allison
like
Pill of the newsroom.
I know, sir, you got him. And I don't know. It really didn't work for me in the second half. Like they needed to be they needed to stay inside the trap the entire time. Sorry.
No, they left the trap, and I was unsure of it, but I liked where they went when they left the trap, and I absolutely loved it. I thought he did a great job, M. Night. Can't wait for the next one.
Pizky asked in the chat. This is a great question. In the film Trap, is there a segment about how to create a string, stick, cardboard box, and cheese trap? If so, what would be the ideal cheese to place in order for maximum trapping efficiency?
This is a great question.
If there's a box with a string and a stick and a piece of cheese inside the trap, Danielle, what kind of cheese is in that for you?
To trap me?
Yeah.
Absolutely, like a sheep's milk, semi hard from France. It's got to be sheep. It's got to have like a little grittiness, a little like just a little umami.
Wow.
I wouldn't stay away.
Daniel's such an elitist.
Yeah, yes. I'm a coastal Canadian elitist.
Give me like a slice of Munster. Just put like a deli slice of Munster in there. That's gonna be pretty good.
Okay. Munster? I couldn't tell you what Munster
Eddie
tastes
Munster.
like. I couldn't tell you what the notes of flavor for a Munster cheese is. No one eats Munster. What do you put Munster on? You could just eat Munster raw?
Just eat a slice. Put on a sandwich.
All right. Where's Munster? Is it German?
I don't know.
Okay. Well.
In Transylvania.
Yeah, probably. Oh, we did get another fun question regarding Big Brother. Fluorescent beige.
Whoa.
Fluorescent beige, my color scheme for dressing my child. Was Julie's red dress while urging the U.S. to vote intentional?
Wow.
Much to think about. Probably.
Wow.
I was a little scared when she was giving the live like address to the nation to tell them to vote. I was a little scared she was going to throw in some sort of like editorial. Luckily she didn't. So that didn't happen. And then we did get a question from Pizky in the chat. Did you use the Coke freestyle at the theater? I didn't see it in theater, unfortunately, so I did not. But I did try Coke spiced. Pizky, it was disgusting. I took 1.5 sips. I took 1 sip and I was disgusted. Then I took another half just to make sure it was nasty. I poured that shit down the drain. It was not worth.
Why would you do that? That's an ecological disaster.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming for your ass.
My pipes are gonna burst. It was so nasty. I support innovation, but that was like they shouldn't have gone mass production for that one. Sorry. It also literally it's raspberry flavored. That's the spice. The spice is raspberry. Did you know that?
It was. You know what? It did. There was like a berry flavor to it because it fucking tasted like cough syrup. It was like, well, they have to make this berry flavored so kids will drink it, and it's like, well, this still tastes like medicine, but in a very specific,
nasty
sort of way. Jen F loves Munster cheese. Question from Jump for Joy: have you seen Twisters? And if you had to chase a natural disaster for passion or profession, what would it be?
That's a great question. It would not be tornadoes for me. Too scary. Too many. I probably would chase like hurricanes because it's romantic.
How many natural disasters are there?
Lava, hurricanes.
Lava is a good one. Sunsets? Can I chase sunsets?
Would you call a sunset a disaster?
I don't know. It's the end of the day.
What about like, oh my gosh, can you believe that people are just stuck in space? And that's
That
your
was
country's fault?
That's Boeing's fault. Don't assassinate me, Boeing.
I know.
Sorry.
I don't think
we just signed our death warrant.
We're lucky we didn't get got by Boeing the last time we talked about it, but like, what the hell is Mayor Pete doing? He needs to look into Boeing. Like, seriously.
Does space travel fall under Department of Transpo?
Well, if it's Boeing manufacturing, yeah, it should. Okay. It could be reorged.
Well, I mean, at first I was like, oh man, I feel bad. Like if they're like the two of them are like in a pod for like 8 months. They're in the space station. Space station has room for them. It has beds. They have TV. They have food. They have internet and stuff. I mean, it's a bit of like a honey, I'm going for a work trip. Oh no, I have to stay in space for 7 months or whatever. But
think of how inconvenienced you feel when your flight is delayed an hour and you have to sit on the tarmac for an hour. And then you're in space and it's 8 months. Okay.
I am like DMing the like United Airlines chatbot, like things that would get me arrested.
Guys, is that it for questions and comments?
I think that's it. I think that's it. It was great episode. I saw Alien Romulus this week.
Oh yeah, you saw Alien Romulus.
I had a good time. I thought it was better than Trap for sure. It was better than Trap.
Not possible. That is not possible.
I really like the Alien movies, but I haven't like memorized every beat of them. And then it wasn't until after I watched this movie and someone explained like all the things that Alien Romulus just stole from other Alien movies and was like kind of doing like a, hey, remember this? I was like, oh, that's worse than I thought. It made me think of the movie. So if you like really love the Alien movies and you like memorized everything, you might kind of be bummed out by this movie. But if you're like me and you're like, yeah, Alien movies, kind of cool. Whatever. Then you're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, I can't say it's high on my list of priorities to see.
But you like scary movies.
I love scary. I
think you would like this movie.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll see it in 3 months when it's on video. I can rent it from the comfort of my home. I just don't think it'll hold a candle to Trap. I might buy Trap so I can just keep rewatching it. I should have bought Malignant. Thank you all so much for watching, for being here in the chat with lots of fun questions and comments. Thank you for your questions and comments in Discord too. We did get an email. We got an email. We got an email. I don't know if
I forgot about it. Should we read it?
I think we should.
I'm so sorry. Okay. From Natalie. Hey, Julie, I went and I saw Dee Dee this week to beat the 98-degree Chicago heat. And I think Brett's 2.5 star was a bit harsh. Now that Brett is on Letterboxd, I've been on Letterboxd, have a few questions to ask as a general conversation starter. Which of the house guests are on Letterboxd? And why are they Joseph and Quinn?
Leah too. Leah definitely has a Letterboxd.
Just to meet guys. Just to be like, oh, I haven't seen this. You should show it to me. I'm so stupid about movies.
No.
I really
you know what's so funny, Brett? Is like you think you know Leah's game and you have no idea. You think you know.
I invented Leah's game. Joseph and Quinn is correct. I wonder if like Angela's on there and she just like watches those weird like
Hallmark movies,
like Jesus movies where it's just like, or
God's not dead.
yeah, or like, ones where like a religious guy like saves children from being kidnapped, and it's like, one of those ones.
Jim Caviezel's in it.
Leah Pinsky says Leah marks all of the A24 films. Is Leah an A24 girly?
Yes, Leah loves Nathan Fielder.
Oh, I don't think she does. If insert whatever house guest were on Letterboxd, what movies would be in their top 4? I'm most curious about Angela. Okay, I guess we answered.
We got her. Yeah,
Angela's top 4s are like, not God's not dead. God's also not dead. Which side would house guests have fallen on the Barbenheimer scale? What is that scale? Is that like where you have to choose one or the other?
Leah, Barbie. Quinn, Barbie. Joseph, Oppenheimer. Angela Barbie, Chelsea. Chelsea's tough. Chelsea probably Barbie.
Barbie, yeah.
Brooklyn Barbie.
I disagree with this. I disagree with this statement. There is no Barbenheimer scale. The whole point of Barbenheimer is that you love both movies.
Both. That's true. But if you had to choose, Tucker, Tucker, like the preview for Trap that played before. Tucker, neither. Rubina Barbie, Chemo Barbie.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the
great email.
That's signed Your Mermaid Fantasy.
Thank you so much.
Mermaid Fantasy is if you send us an email. HeyJulieBigBrother@gmail.com.
Yeah, thank you for that. We really hit it on all cylinders this week.
Great episode today.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye, Julie.
Bye, Julie.